here with Jerry Schaefer for On Brand Thought Leaders here with Red Star Foundation, one with a very important message for veterans and suicide prevention. Can you talk about how we've got here and what inspired this awesome foundation?
Yeah, absolutely. So about a year ago, in July of 2024, I was at a veteran social, and there I started talking to this lady, and she was telling me about her husband who had died by suicide 5 years earlier. And he had been in the Army 24 years, special operator out of MacDill right here in Tampa. And 4 years after he retired, he took his own life. And as I'm talking to her, she said, I have a lot of questions. And she mentioned she doesn't have a support system. She doesn't know who to talk to. And she made a comment to me that really resonated. She said, I wish that there was a network like the Gold Star families have for KIAs, killed in action. And I thought to myself, there has to be some sort of network for that. And I told her, don't worry about it. Let me go home, do some research, and I'll get back to you. Well, I went home. I started doing the research. I came across a couple smaller organizations, but none of them focused on veteran suicide and taking care of the families. And I just thought to myself that this is something that needs to happen, and I went ahead and started the Red Star Foundation.
Wow, that's amazing. And what goes into starting a foundation? It must be completely different than starting a business.
No, it's actually very similar. The only difference is that you have to get your IRS 501c3 status. So we filed with the state of Florida, got that corporation started. Excuse me. Filed with the state of Florida, got that corporation started, and then we filed for the IRS status, and we actually got it back in 30 days. Wow. So by September 7th, 2024, we were a full-blown IRS 501c3.
Wow, okay, perfect. So after the IRS, after the C3, what then?
So then I started networking, started talking to other people, started getting more information, started getting more details, started just doing research, really. And one of the things that I found that's very interesting is that since 1950, the beginning of the Korean War, there's been 102,000 casualties of war. So KIAs, which also means that there's 102,000 new Gold Star families since 1950. And when we look at veteran suicide, since 2001, when we started tracking the suicides, there's been over 150,000, which is just an unbelievable number, especially for 24 years as opposed to 75 years. So we started looking at those statistics, started looking at a bunch of other statistics, and from there, I met with the mayor of Clearwater, Florida, Bruce Rector, talked with him for a little while, and he thought that this was an amazing concept. He said he's on board. He was working to get the city on board. I also reached out to a congressman, U.S. congressman from Michigan, who happened to be a 3-star Marine general, Marine like myself. And so I had a conversation with him. He loved the idea. He loved the concept of the foundation. We also introduced what's called the Red Star banner. And so with that, he wanted to read that into the congressional record. And on January 28, 2025, he did. He read it into the congressional record. And what that does is that introduces it to Congress. And then we can start to work on getting that approved and getting that adopted nationwide.
I love that. And I would love to see and talk about some of the banners.
Yeah. So most people are aware of the Gold Star banner. So this is the Gold Star banner. And this is given out to the next of kin for anyone that loses a loved one in war, so time of conflict. And then what we did is we created the Red Star banner that we too are going to give out to the next of kin of someone that's died by suicide.
Wow. It's such an honor to talk to you and an honor to kind of bring this space and awareness. And out of the core values, awareness, support, advocacy, and prevention, what's the kind of hardest to advance and why? And what's one that we should really be pushing in society?
Yeah, the prevention piece. Mm-hmm. And one of the statistics that I forgot to mention to you is that for many years, probably 10, 15 years, we, the veteran population mostly, have heard the number that 22 veterans die by suicide every single day.
Wow.
Which means that over 8,000 die every single year. And so we've just become accustomed to hearing that number, knowing that number. And in March of 2025, America's Warrior Partnership released their deep dive study, which was 5 years of diving into veteran suicide in 8 states. And their findings were that 44 veterans died every single day, not 22. So double the amount. So you're looking at about 16,000 veterans nationwide taking their lives every single year. And so when we look at that, the prevention piece has been the one piece that we just can't seem to wrap our heads around. The VA's working hard, enlisting help from a lot of different organizations, nonprofits, community-based funded initiatives, and so we started working on that as well, and we're trying to get our programs out there so that we can help prevent suicide.
Amazing. Being a Marine, leadership's probably in your blood, but running an organization, how has that shown you true leadership?
Yeah, I think it's a matter, leadership is really about who you put around you. So if you have a great team around you, the leadership piece comes very easy. And we've been very blessed and very fortunate to bring in some very heavy hitters. So, for example, we have a former Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps on board, Gene Overstreet, who was a 12th Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps. We have a West Point graduate who is an Apache pilot that's on board. And so I think when you bring those types of people around you, they just make you a better leader naturally.
You truly are who you surround yourself with.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so when you're trying to look for awareness, how do you kind of get out there to kind of let the general public know about Red Star Foundation?
Yeah, so what we typically do is we'll go around the different veterans organizations, civic organizations. We'll actually go on base and talk to people on there as well. Have a lot of Zoom calls, as you can imagine.
Yes.
I mean, technology makes it a lot easier these days. And I'm being invited all over the country to come and talk about this topic, come and introduce the Red Star banner. And so that's primarily how we get our message out. We do have a website. We do have a whole team, a creative team that's working with us to try to get the message out. And we're always looking for more creative people as well.
Yeah. Creativity definitely moves the needle.
Exactly. And that's how we ended up meeting. So
Exactly. Yep. It's all about branding too. And I love the Red Star. So how did you what drew you to the Red Star?
Yeah, so funny story. When I started thinking about this and creating this foundation, I wanted to follow in the footsteps of the Red Star banner, the Gold Star banner, and also the Blue Star banner. And that's for families that have someone that's in the military. Mm-hmm. And when I looked at that, I was looking at what color star would fit. And I literally Photoshopped, pulled it up, created a mock-up of it, and I started playing around with different colored stars. So I tried orange, I tried green, I tried purple. None of them looked good to me. None of them looked patriotic. I intentionally didn't try the Red Star, simply because on the banner, the Gold Star banner here and even the Blue Star banner, it's got a red border. Mm-hmm. So if we have a red border and we have a red star, to me that looked kind of communist.
Yes, and I can see that being a little...
Exactly. So CCP, China, Russia, so North Korea. So we didn't want to go that route. And I was really dumbfounded, like, what can I do? These other ones don't look good. And then I said, well, hey, there's nothing locked into that border. We can try to change that border, which made it look a lot more patriotic as well, having the red, white, and blue all together in here.
It really does.
So that's where the star came along.
Mm-hmm. And the name just flows. It's patriotic.
Exactly.
It's memorable.
Exactly.
It really fits.
And again, in the same vein, in the blueprint of the Gold Star and the Gold Star families, which they've done a phenomenal job.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing when you have that branding aha moment. You've had the vision, you have the idea, then now you have the image and the name, and then you're off to the races. Yeah. And they have the funding, the people, and then the IRS, and then you're all good to go.
Exactly.
So how do you kind of balance the grassroots advocacy with the national level policy and kind of like support that you need? Like you have, it's a balance game when you have this kind of like a foundation and such of a sensitive topic as well.
Well, we've been very fortunate. Because suicide is a big issue, people are willing to listen.
Yes.
They're willing to take some time. They're willing to make time, especially when you're talking about the Department of Veterans Affairs, you're talking about congressmen and senators. So I've been very fortunate to have those doors open up, to have those conversations. Matter of fact, just 3 weeks ago, I met with Congressman Gus Bilirakis up in Pasco County. And a couple months ago, I met with Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna. And so both of them support this. They're behind this. I had a conversation with Senator Ashley Moody from Florida as well about this. She loved the idea. And I've actually had a conversation with the Secretary of the VA, Doug Collins, too.
Wow. So you're really getting out there and really having these impactful conversations with the right people.
Yes. We started out here locally and created an impact right from day one. But we know that if we really want to accomplish our mission, we have to get to the national level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you're slowly but surely getting there.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And you were founded, sorry, what year again?
So we were founded in August of 2024.
Yeah,
so we
so
are
it's been,
a year old. We
yeah.
just celebrated our first birthday.
I was about to say, it's been slow. You've been moving mountain blocks at a rapid pace. So nationals right around the corner.
Yeah.
You've kind of conquered your backyard already.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we've already done events nationally. So we've gone up to Nashville. We've gone up to New York. We've done several of them. I've been being asked to come to a lot of other places as well. We're doing an event in Louisiana here next week. I'll be out there. And honestly, what we've accomplished in a year, I mean, I'm just scratching the surface with the conversation that we're having here, but what we've accomplished in a year is amazing and typically doesn't happen.
No.
But again, that goes back to the leadership, the team that we have in place that's opening up the doors and getting us in front of people.
Mm-hmm. I mean, do you think it's because you guys have such a strong military background that you guys kind of run the operation like a military?
Well, it certainly has a lot to do with it, but not all of it.
No.
There's a lot of people that know this problem, and there's a lot of people willing to come on board, willing to volunteer, willing to get involved in it because they want to see suicide end as well. Not just in the veteran space, but all over. And one of the things that I forgot to mention, by the way, is that this isn't just for veterans. So the Red Star banner is being given out to active duty, military, reserve, guard, and also first responders as well.
I love that. I don't know if we talked about this in the Zoom, but I'm marrying someone from TPD in a month.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. But yeah, first responders, very necessary, and mental health is no joke when you're responding to, people's worst days of their life.
Absolutely.
Nonstop.
And we've had a couple people question why we would include first responders in there. But this isn't the military. Mm-hmm. So the Gold Star is funded by the DOD. Yeah. And the Red Star is not. The Red Star is funded by us or through donations, through a nonprofit. Why not include them? EMS is really a paramilitary institution, both firefighters and law enforcement. So it makes sense to include them. And a lot of them are former military.
Yeah, 100%. I love that. Could you kind of share a story that captures the real world impact of the Red Star Foundation, maybe peer-to-peer or someone you've really helped?
Yeah. Again, going back to the very initial stages of this, we had set up a press conference for January 31st. Mm-hmm. City of Clearwater, the mayor, Bruce Rector, was going to put this on. And so we brought in our entire board, getting ready for that. And I wanted to take the opportunity while I had everybody here to go out and give a presentation, something that might have an impact. So we were able to get on MacDill Air Force Base. We were in front of 70 junior airmen, probably between the ages of 18 to 22, very junior, very young, and we gave a presentation. And as part of that presentation, we show a video, and it's a video of a mom giving an interview who lost a son to suicide, active duty, Marine, took his life, approximately 3 years when we shot the video. And so we show that video, and then we tell them, listen, we're going to be here for a little while. If you want to talk, we'll be here. If you want to get our phone number, we'll give you our personal cell numbers, and we will. You can call us and contact us at any time, our email address, etc. I was shocked by the number of people that come up and talk to us afterwards. And the reason being is these are young kids. Mm-hmm. I thought they had the world by the short and curlies like I did when I was in the military. I didn't think that they would want to hear about suicide, that they would want to talk about suicide. They were going to be distracted. They were going to be on their phones. And that didn't happen. From the time that we started, they were leaning in. And when they came back to talk to us at the end, they were thanking us. Thank you so much for this. I needed it. I had a suicide in my family. I had a friend that died by suicide. Just so many stories. Mm-hmm. And then at the end, as we're starting to pack up to leave, about 45 minutes later, this young girl walks up to us, and she's got tears in her eyes, and she says, thank you. Thank you so much for being here today. I needed this. I had a suicide in my family. This is very important to me. And that video that you showed just meant the world to me. And she paused, and she looked down at the ground. Must have been about 20, 30 seconds. And then she looked up, and she said, I have to be honest with you. 2 months ago, I tried to take my life. And we were a little surprised by that. We weren't expecting it. And, we talked with her, and she said she's getting really good care. She's getting counseling. And she said that she's doing very well, and that when she clears, she's going to go home. She's going to leave the military, leave the Air Force, go home, visit her family. She's very excited about that. And then she pauses again, looks down at the ground, waits probably 20 seconds, looks back up. She says, I need to be more honest with you. I'm thinking about doing it again. And we just sat there and waited, and she said, but now I watched that video that you showed, and I never once thought about what the effect would be on my mom when I tried it or if I did it again, and I'm not going to do it now.
Wow.
You want to talk about stepping up to the plate, hitting a grand slam, walk off to win the game. That was it. And that was our first time out, our very first time out.
Chill, like physical chills. That's, I mean...
And that just let us know that we were on the right track, and let us know that the direction that we're going is right. And since then, we've put on other events as well, other presentations. And even though we haven't had that same story, we've had some very close to it, including some senior military saying that this is the best suicide training they've ever had their entire time in the military.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I feel like just how things are going in life, people are feeling a little bit more hopeless than normal. I see it, and especially in the younger generations. I think this foundation is going to be the strongest thing in the military, especially for the next couple of years to come, especially when people are just kind of feeling a little lost.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's just amazing. So when the leaderships that you kind of have inside the organization, what's kind of the most mission-driven part right now? Like where are you going like within the organization?
Yeah, so right now we're working to get the banner adopted nationally. And so we've had some good success with that, getting it local, in state of Florida, and then national as well. We have some organizations that have signed on. Military Order of the Purple Heart have adopted it.
Wow.
America's Gold Star families have adopted it. So we're seeing some success there. We're trying to get it nationally, as I mentioned. We're trying to push it up the chain there. The one area that we're sort of focusing on here is also just really to get the funding to be able to do more of these events and also film more of these videos. So our plan is to shoot 100 of these videos, at least 100 of these videos, whether it's a family member, whether it's a veteran that has actually thought about suicide, or someone who has even attempted suicide, and have a series of these videos that we call Red Star Voices. And the intent of these Red Star Voices is exactly what happened the first time that we showed it. And the intent is someone sitting there and they're contemplating suicide. Maybe it's that day, maybe it's a year from now, maybe it's 3 years from now. But as they're starting to think about it, they have a reminder in their mind about that video they watched. And they say, I can't do that to my mom. I can't do that to my spouse. I can't do that to my kids. And that stops them and that prevents them. So that's the intent of the videos. So we're raising some funds for that so we can do more of those videos as well.
The videos that just stick with you for life, the impactful, high-quality ones. Yep.
Yeah, hopefully.
Wow, you guys are up to so much. Does anyone even sleep at Red Star Foundation?
Well, I'm not being paid, and it is taking away from my day job, but that's okay because this is so important. And I know at some point that this is going to be massive in terms of a charity that's helping, and there's a need that we're going to tackle and we're going to take head on.
I love that. So kind of wrapping it up, what does success really look for Red Star Foundation 5 to 10 years? I know you said national level. I just want to kind of hone in on what the national level looks like.
So from a national level, we're looking to stand up hundreds of chapters around the country. We're looking to be able to bring these families that have suffered a suicide loss, as well as organizations and people that are in that local community together to help heal one another. We are looking to really just help hundreds of thousands of people every single year, whether that's a family member that's lost someone to suicide, whether that's a veteran or a first responder, whoever that may be. We're looking to help 100,000 minimum per year, and we think it'll be more than that.
Amazing. And where can everyone find you, Jerry? Where they can find you, support, donate?
Yeah, Red Star Foundation. You can go there, and you can also look up, well, it's not up there yet, but we have a big announcement coming. I can share a little bit with you.
Oh, a sneak peek, a teaser on brand thought leaders.
Absolutely. You're breaking the news first.
Oh,
here.
wow.
So we are planning our very first gala, which will be February 28th, this coming year, 2026, February 28th. And we have a special guest that's going to be there, and he's bringing his entire band, and that is Gary Sinise and the Lieutenant Dan Band.
Wow.
So he is committed to coming out here, which is a huge deal. Mm-hmm. I'm sure you've watched Forrest Gump.
I sure have. That's one of my favorite. I feel like it's everyone's one of their top 5 favorite movies.
And so, just a tremendous gift on behalf of Gary and his foundation, and they do an amazing job as well. So
that's amazing.
Excited about that.
That'll be great. And I'm sure everyone will be dressed to the nines too.
Oh, absolutely. It's a military gala, so you'll be black tie or military dress uniform.
Amazing. Who doesn't love to dress up? And for an amazing cause too.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Jerry.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me on.
Of course. Thank you.